Good morning, students. In my previous video, which was part 1 of the chapter Tertiary and Quaternary Activities, I had explained you types of tertiary activities. First was trade and commerce, second was retail trading, third was wholesale trading, fourth was transport, fifth communication, and last services. So, today I will begin from the sixth topic, services. Now, services, there are different levels at which these services are provided. Some services, they are meant for industries, some are for the people, and some are for both industry and people. That is transport. Every service has its cost, and services are provided only to those individuals who have the means to pay for them. तो हर एक सर्विस का हमको पैसा देना पड़ता है, कोई भी फ्री में हमारे लिए काम नहीं करता है. ओके, एंड दीज सर्विसेज आर ऑफ टू टाइप्स. फर्स्ट इज लो ऑर्डर सर्विसेज, सेकंड इज हाई ऑर्डर सर्विसेज. लो ऑर्डर सर्विसेज में ऐसी सर्विसेज है जैसे ग्रॉसरी शॉप्स है, लॉन्ड्रीज है, दे आर वेरी कॉमन. हाई ऑर्डर सर्विसेज में कौन सी है? वो और स्पेशलाइज्ड सर्विसेज हैं, जैसे अकाउंटेंट्स है, कंसल्टेंट्स है, फिजिशियंस है, ये सब आ गई हाई ऑर्डर सर्विसेज में. अब दीज सर्विसेज दे में इन्वॉल्व फिजिकल और मेंटल लेबर. कुछ सर्विसेज में फिजिकल लेबर की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, कुछ में मेंटल लेबर की. फिजिकल लेबर, फॉर एग्जाम्पल द वर्क ऑफ अ गार्डनर, द वर्क ऑफ अ लॉन्ड्रर, द वर्क ऑफ अ बार्बर, they all involve physical labor. But those services of teachers, lawyers, physicians, musicians, and others, they perform mental labor. So we see that these services also vary. Now, for every service we know that we have to pay. The cost has to be paid for each and every service. A large number of services have been regulated. For example, making and maintaining of highways and bridges, maintaining firefighting departments, and supplying or supervising education and customer care, they are some of the examples of regulated services. These services, they are supervised either by the government or by companies. Then there are corporations which are constituted by central and state government to supervise and control the marketing of some services. तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट किन सर्विसेज को सुपरवाइज करेंगी? जैसे कि ट्रांसपोर्ट है, टेलीकम्युनिकेशन है, एनर्जी, वाटर सप्लाई. ऑल दीज सर्विसेज दे आर मैनेज्ड बाय द सेंट्रल और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स. Now, primary health care, engineering, law and management, they are all professional services. Availability of market, it influences the location of recreational and entertainment services. Multiplexes and restaurants, they are generally located in or near the central business district. Other activities like golf course are located away from the central business district where land prices are comparatively lower. So, in services, we have discussed all the different type of services. Services, those which use physical labor, those which use mental labor. Then there are services which are low order services, some are high order services. Then others which are regulated by the government, and some other which are regulated by the central and state governments. They supervise and control them. Then we have the higher services like primary health care, engineering. तो ये अब आपको services का समझ में आया. Now next is we have the informal sector. In informal sector, usually unskilled workers, they are working in this informal sector, and the laborers even migrate from rural to urban areas to find employment, like housekeepers, cooks, gardeners, etc. Mumbai's dhaba walas, they are also very famous who are employed in the unorganized sector. Now, the next topic is people engaged in the tertiary activities. People engaged in tertiary activities, the number of these people is more in the developed countries as compared to the developing countries. Developing countries are employing more people in the secondary and primary sectors, whereas in the developed countries, the number of people employed in the tertiary sector is higher. 75% of the people in USA, they are employed in the tertiary sector. So first we'll take tourism. Journey undertaken for recreation is known as tourism. Tourism is now growing at a rapid pace all over the world, and it has become the world's single largest tertiary activity in the total registered jobs, and total revenue derived from this tourism sector is 40% of the total GDP. In addition, several people are also employed in the allied services like hotel accommodation, meals, transport, etc. So, where tourism grows, infrastructure also becomes stronger, because those people who are traveling from outside countries, they want comfortable place to live. So infrastructure is also becoming stronger. In some areas tourism is seasonal, whereas in other places it is throughout all the year round. It is the tourists are coming all the year round. Now, which are the important tourist regions? The first and foremost, the most popular area for tourists is the Mediterranean coast in Europe and West Coast in India. They are some of the most popular destinations in the world. Other areas may include places where winter sports are popular, mainly in the mountainous regions or other scenic landscapes and national parks. Now, historic towns, they are also a great attraction for tourists because of their monuments and heritage sites and cultural activities. There are certain factors which affect tourism. Which are those? First is demand. Like all other economic activities, tourism also depend upon demand. Demand for tourism has increased rapidly since the last century due to improvement in the standard of living of the people and increased leisure time. Second is transport. Transport is the key factor in the growth of tourism industry. Easy transport opens new tourist spots and stimulates the existing ones. If transport facilities are available, more tourists are attracted to those places. Traveling by car on smooth roads, it is also very convenient. In the recent years, air travel has become very popular with tourists because of its speed. People can reach from one place to another in a very less time. Package holidays are also now becoming very popular because they cost less and they provide all the facilities to the tourists. Next is tourist attractions. What things attract the tourists? First is climate. Climate for tourists has relative importance because people of the colder regions, they prefer to go to warmer places, whereas people living in hot areas, they prefer to go to cool regions as tourist destinations. This is the main reason that the tourists from northern Europe prefer to go to southern Europe and Mediterranean lands, and tourists from northern plains of India, they prefer to go to tourist places located in the Himalayan regions. Second is landscape. For a large number of tourists, landscape is a great attraction because it brings nearer to natural beauty. Mountains, lakes, sea coast, etc. They are the best destinations for tourists. Third is history and art. Interesting history and art of an area, again, it is a matter of great attraction for tourists, for especially for those people who are interested in mythology, in historical facts, and in art and culture. People visit ancient or picturesque towns and archaeological sites and enjoy exploring castles, palaces, and churches. Fourth is culture and economy. Culture and economy again attract those tourists who are interested in knowing the ethnic and local customs of an area. Cheaper spots become more popular on account of economic reasons. Homestay has emerged as a profitable business, such as heritage homes in Goa, Madekar, and Kurg in Karnataka. Next is medical services for overseas patients in India. About 55,000 patients from USA visited India in 2005 for treatment. This is and many millions of people went for their surgery to USA. Many people go every year for their health problems and for getting surgeries done. But India has emerged as the leading country of medical tourism in the world. World class hospitals are located in all the metropolitan cities, which cater to the patients from all over the world. Medical tourism brings abundant benefits to developing countries like India, Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia. And beyond medical tourism is the trend of outsourcing medical tests and data interpretation. Hospitals in India, Switzerland, and Australia have been performing certain medical services ranging from reading radiology images to interpreting magnetic resonance images, MRIs, and ultrasound tests. So, outsourcing also holds tremendous advantage for the patients if it is focused on improving quality or providing the specialized care. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing or contracting out is giving work to an outside agency to improve the efficiency and to reduce the cost. So, what is outsourcing? It gives work to an outside agency in order to reduce the total cost of the work. When outsourcing involves transferring work overseas locations, it is described as offshoring. Although both offshoring and outsourcing they are used together. Business activities that are outsourced include information technology, human resources, customer support, and call center services, and at times also manufacturing and engineering. Data processing is an IT related service easily carried out in Assam, East European, and African countries. In these countries, IT skilled staff with good English language skills are available at lower wages than in the developed countries. That is why a company in Hyderabad or Manila does work on a project based on GIS techniques for a country like USA or Japan. Overhead costs are also much lower, making it profitable to get the work carried out overseas, whether it is in India, China, or even a less populous country like Botswana in Africa. Outsourcing has resulted in the opening up of a large number of call centers in India, China, Eastern Europe, Israel, Philippines, and Costa Rica. It has created new jobs in these countries. Outsourcing is coming to these countries where cheap and skilled workers are available. These are also out migrating countries with the work available. So, though outsourcing, the migration in these countries may come down. When work is available in the countries, the people will not migrate to outer countries. So it has brought the migration also on the lower side. Outsourcing countries are facing resistance from job seeking youths in the respective countries. The comparative advantage is the main reason for continuing outsourcing. New trends in queenery services include knowledge processing outsourcing, KPO, and home shoring, the latter as an alternative to outsourcing. The KPO industry is distinct from business process outsourcing because it involves highly skilled workers. It is information driven knowledge outsourcing. KPO enables companies to create additional business opportunities. Examples of KPOs include research and development activities, e learning, business research, intellectual property research, legal profession, and the banking center. So, I think what is outsourcing, it must be clear to you now, and how outsourcing involves people and provides them employment. Now, we'll do quaternary activities. Next is quaternary activities. What do a CEO of an MNC in Copenhagen, at New York, and a medical transcriptionist at Bangalore have in common? Well, all these people work in a segment of the service sector that is knowledge oriented. This sector can be divided into quaternary and queenery activities. Quaternary activities involve some of the following, like the collection, production, dissemination of information, or even the production of information. Quaternary activities center around research, development, and may be seen as an advanced form of services involving specialized knowledge and technical skills. The quaternary sector, along with the tertiary sector, it has replaced most of the primary and secondary employment as the basis of economic growth. More than half of the workers in developed economies are in the knowledge sector. There has been a high growth in this particular sector. Now people are switching over from the primary and secondary sector to the tertiary and quaternary sectors. Personnels working in the office buildings, elementary schools and university classrooms, hospitals and doctors, theaters, accounting and brokerage firms all belong to this category. Last is queenery activities. The highest level of decision makers or policy makers perform queenery activities. These are subtly different from the knowledge based industries that the queenery sector in general deals with. Queenery activities are services that focus on the creation, rearrangement, and interpretation of new and existing ideas, data interpretation, and the use and evaluation of new technologies. Often referred to as gold collar professions, they represent another subdivision of the tertiary sector, representing special and highly paid skills of the senior business executives, government officials, research scientists, financial and legal consultants, etc. Their importance in the structure of advanced economies far outweighs their number. The last topic of this chapter is the digital divide. Now we see that opportunities emerging from information and communication technology is unevenly distributed across the globe. There are wide ranging economic, political, and social differences among countries. Developed countries in general, they have surged forward, whereas the developing countries, they are lagging behind, and this is known as the digital divide. Similarly, digital divide exists within countries also. For example, in a large country like Russia or India, it is inevitable that certain areas like metropolitan centers possess better connectivity and access to the digital world versus peripheral rural areas. So this is digital divide, when there is difference in the technology in two areas or two places. Thanks children.